Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel, where today I'm gonna do part 3 to my Let's Play of Detective Pikachu Returns for Nintendo Switch. Where the last time, guys, we started doing our first main case in the game, which is apparently a jewel heist. Well, by that I mean we're trying to find somebody that stole a precious jewel to the dude you see right here. Right here, the stolen jewel. The Aurora Drop is Mr. Dennis's prized jewel. Someone has stolen it. And we gotta just continue the case and moving forward. We gotta go upstairs, but I want to see if they have anything else to say first. I'll tell you, you've heard what Dr. Dennis has to say. I'm guessing he also told you about his butler. He's definitely not pleased that Barnes had fallen under suspicion. It sure seems that way. In my position, I'm not at liberty to share all the information we've gathered. But if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. Thank you. At the time of the incident? What was the situation in the mansion at the time of the incident? We're still looking into that. I'm sure you'll get more direct answers by asking the witnesses themselves. He's right. We should take this one step at a time and gather our own intel. About Barnes. I was told Barnes is the police's prime suspect. Well, the circumstantial evidence certainly seems to be pointing in his direction. He doesn't sound terribly convinced. Does anything strike you as odd? Yes, actually. I can't think of a single motive for Barnes to steal that jewel. He don't appear to bear any ill will toward Mr. Dennis, and he's in no trouble financially. That being said, we may uncover a motive in the course of our investigation. But for now, I can't say anything with certainty. Understood. About the Aurora Drop. I hear the Aurora Drop is an incredibly valuable jewel. The Aurora Drop's not just valuable, it's famous throughout the entire jewelry industry. Then there must be plenty of people who would like to get their hands on it. Could the jewel have been stolen by an intruder? I can't rule out the possibility, but based on current evidence, I'd say the likelihood of a burglary is low. Okay. That's not going to say anything new. Manager's like, oh yeah. Alright, let's go up here, Pikachu. Hello. This room is currently being searched by the police. Whoa! We may be representing a crowd, but we should still respect the residents' privacy. We shouldn't go barging into rooms that have nothing to do with the case, Tim. True. We need to focus on the jewel storage room. Sorry. This is the jewel storage room, the scene of the crime. Okay. The jewel storage room has been left exactly as it was at the time of the incident. Inspector Holiday's already filled me in. Please go right ahead. Yes. Thank you. Jewel storage room. Whimsicott. Look at all the fuzz or the cotton around. What is it, Pikachu? I checked out the door, but there are no signs of forced entry. Then we can be fairly certain that the thief used a key to get in. According to Dennis, this room's where the Aurora Drop used to be. Let's take a closer look. It's a red jewel. What a vibrant red, like boiling hot lava. It's almost too bright to look at. This one's a blue jewel. It's a deep blue, like the ocean. It has a kind of magical feeling to it. A green jewel. That fresh green color reminds me of the forest. Just look at it, it's common. What a beautiful jewel. It's so clear and sparkly. Absolutely brilliant. This area looks more disturbed than the rest. Let's start investigating. We might find a clue. Alright, don't let any details slip past you, Tim.
Let me see.
Where should we look first?
Oh?
I'm gonna examine this first. This is the only case that's damaged. Must be where they kept the Aurora drop. The edge looks like it was sliced clean with a blade. What kind of blade could slice through this cleanly through such a sturdy jewel case? Examine. The jewel case is still locked. Lock in the jewel case. Like Dennis said, the jewel in this case was stored under lock and key. And the key to the case is a different key than the one to the jewel storage room door. I wonder who has the key then. Right in the other hand, let's see, he's throwing up right in the back. Yeah. The fur. Or all this stuff around.
Hey, Tim! Check it out! Looks good, huh? Disguises are a key part of detective work, you know.
Yeah, whatever. Now quit goofing off and investigate.
He clearly doesn't appreciate my art. Perhaps I need to give him a little more training.
That was cool, I like that.
Oh?
There's some cotton on the ground. It looks really fluffy and soft. Cotton in the jewelry storage room. Whimsical. What's a bunch of cotton doing in here? Could be a whimsicott, you know. That looks like part of the jewel case. Based on the shape, do you think the top half of the case was cut off? Yeah, looks like that. Looks that way. It's a really clean cut. Slicing it must have taken one seriously sharp blade. I doubt a human could pull that off.
Hey, Tim. Quit looking at my tail and start investigating anything that looks suspicious.
Quit looking at my tail! Okay, I love just the random interactions now. Anything else is already going to investigate? Just this. Here's a blue Okay, wait. Cotton. It wasn't a shiny one that was blue. Here's a blue feather. Do you think the Pokemon it belonged to was in this room? Maybe it's from a Pokemon that lives in the mansion. Let's look into that later.
Right.
We've covered everything I was wondering about. Any other spots you want to check? Not here. Right now, secret thing I don't know about. Oh, the base of this jewel case is firmly fixed to the floor. Yeah, moving the base doesn't even look possible. I don't see anything else worth investigating. We'll go again. See if we see.
Hey, Tim. Quit looking at my tail and start investigating anything that looks suspicious.
That's hilarious. Well, I've gotten everything I think now, bud, so I think we're done.
Okay, let's start deducing.
Oh boy. Wait.
Okay, great.
We got everything we need to make our deductions. Let's solve this puzzle, Tim. Yeah. You've probably figured out how the culprit stole the jewel by now, eh? Alright, so let's begin deducing your case notebook.
Okay.
We have a few plausible theories. Which do you think is right? What's this? The culprit hasn't actually stolen the jewel yet. The culprit may not have taken the Aurora drop out of the jewel storage room. He may have hidden it among the cotton fluff scattered throughout the room. That could be what that the thing I saw. I think it's a feather. The culprit cut open the case and stole the jewel. The culprit somehow cut open the jewel case and steal the Aurora. The culprit unlocked the case and stole the jewel. No, this was still locked, so that definitely ain't it. The culprit may have used the key to unlock the jewel case and stole the Aurora drop. But it definitely ain't that one.
Okay.
Oh, from what we've seen of the crime scene, we can tell that the jewel case was sliced open. After that, the Aurora drop was removed from the case and taken away. Right, and we saw that the jewel case was still locked, which supports that claim. We still need to investigate more to determine how the case was sliced open. But at least now we know how the thief got their hands on the Aurora drop. Yeah, we made our first step forward. Ah,
Okay.
you understand how to use the case notebook now. Yep, once I've got some evidence, I'll start deducing. Feel free to start deducing whenever you feel like it. After investigating the scene, we now know the crime was we now know how the crime was carried out. We can be certain that the culprit sliced open the case and took the jewel from inside. But there's just one thing that's strange. Oh yeah? Yeah. Thanks, Tim. What's strange about the way the crime was committed? The glass was cut, but the door wasn't?
Oh,
The door to the storage room was opened with a key. But the jewel case was still locked when it was sliced apart. That's right! So that means the thief only had one of the keys. The one to the storage room. They didn't have the key to the jewel case. According to Mr. Dennis, only he and Barnes can access the jewel storage room. I understand why the police suspect Barnes, but I'm not so sure. Obviously, it'd be best if we could talk to Barnes ourselves, but he's still being questioned.
1 hour, 1 minute, 9.8 seconds remaining.
I'm gonna go and stop that timer because it's gonna interrupt the story in this. I'm gonna play a little bit longer. We need to ask Mr. Dennis about the lock in the jewel case. Right, after we wrap up here, let's go ask him. How's the investigation going, Tim? Oh, Mr. Dennis! Sorry, I couldn't stand just waiting around. Have you discovered anything? It does appear that the culprit used the storage room key to gain entry. We believe they then cut open the jewel case and took the Aurora drop. Is that so? I suppose that doesn't help Barnes much, since he has access to the key. I have a question for you, Mr. Dennis. Who has the key to the jewel case? I have it right here. I always carry the key to the jewel case on my person. I've known Barnes a very long time, but I still won't give him this key. The security of the jewel case is my personal responsibility. Got it. So both Barnes and Dennis can access the key to the jewel storage room, but only Mr. Dennis has access to the key to the jewel case itself. That's valuable information, Mr. Dennis. Thank you. Really? I thought I might be getting in the way, but I'm glad to hear I could help. The Aurora drop is meant to become a symbol of revival for Ryden City. Anyway, I'm counting on you, Tim. A symbol of revival? Let's ask Dennis about... Oh no. Let's ask Dennis about that later. Wait. Is Barnes the culprit? The police suspect Brandon Barnes as the culprit, begin interviewing the people and Pokemon in the mansion. The thief cut open the case to steal the jewel, but they have the key to get into the storage room. And the only people who have access to the key are Dennis and Barnes, so it makes sense that the police would suspect Barnes. If the key hadn't been used to unlock the storage room, Barnes wouldn't be under suspicion in the first place. Why would he do that, knowing people would suspect him? Maybe he didn't think that far ahead. In any case, based on what we found at the scene of the crime, we can't be certain of anything just yet. We need to talk to Barnes and the other people in the mansion and hear what they have to say. Not just the people, the Pokemon too. I'll interpret for you what we talk when we talk to them. Alright, I'm counting on you, Pikachu. Okay, now that we've got our next steps figured out, let's start interviewing everyone right away.
Hey,
Hey Tim, are you stuck? Want some advice? Yeah. Is Barnes guilty or innocent? To answer that, what we need is information. First, try talking to everyone who is or works in the mansion. And not just humans, that goes for Pokemon too.
seems like the residents of this mansion drink coffee frequently. I can tell by the aroma.
What?
Great detective tip number 3. Learn from past cases. You may notice a pattern similar to a case you solved before. You never know what might be a clue. Gotta investigate carefully.
Well, thanks for letting me know. There ain't anybody in here now, is there? Nope. So we just gotta leave.
Cool.
Hey Tim, there's something on the floor by the window. Should we check it out? Oh. On the floor by the window. Which window? It's a red jewel. Unless I'm blind, there's nothing. Oh wait, there's some of this room. Oh yeah! It's a feather. Oh! What's all this? Pokemon feathers? Sure looks like it. They're scattered all over the floor and the window's open. Maybe a Pokemon got in, or out through here. Do you think it has anything to do with this case? Look at this. One of these feathers is darker than the others. You're right. The other 6 are a lighter shade of blue. Something about that is nagging at me. Looks like Pokemon feathers. Given how they're scattered, do you think a Pokemon might have entered or exited through the window? I'm sorry. Before we talk to you, we're going to talk to my next again. We're a corner in this mansion. I still can't go in there, though.
Whoa!
Yep, still. That means we have to go back down the stairs. Hello.
I see.
Ask anything you want, Tim. Here we go. About my dad. Inspector Holiday. I know this has nothing to do with the current case, but you want to ask me about Harry? Yeah. Do the police have any new leads on my father's whereabouts? I'm sorry, Tim. We haven't made any developments on that front. Oh, well, thanks anyway. I still don't understand it myself. Harry was working on the R case when he went missing. So it stands to reason that if you followed that thread, you'd find Harry too. But the case has been closed and we still don't have a single clue. Seriously, where'd Harry disappear to? Don't be discouraged, Tim. Look at how far you've come in the 2 years since you moved to the city in search of your father. You've become such a great detective that the mayor himself recognized you with an award. You'll find Harry, I'm sure of it. And in the meantime, I'll keep offering whatever help I can. Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Inspector Holiday. Can't talk to the Pokemon. Wait, there ain't no other point to talk to. Unless there's a new one that appeared. Oh wait, there's you. Are you the only new? Oh no, there's more people. Okay, so I'll do it a little bit differently then. Where's Pikachu? There you are. Let's talk to this dude first.
Hello there, Detective Tim. No, I mean, Detective Goodman?
Larry Turner, newest staff member of the dentist residence. Wait, you are the detective, right? That's what Dr. Dennis said, at least. The name's... Wait, that's not proper enough. Sorry. My name is Larry Turner, and I'm a member of the house staff. House staff, huh? See it over his head. If you need anything, just let me know. I mean, please inform me if... You really don't have to be so formal with us. Thanks. That's a huge relief. I got this job a while ago, but I'm still not used to talking all fancy. Uh-oh. Is that a problem? Well, it's a good thing for me that Barnes deals with all the important guests. My main duties are taking care of the Pokemon, managing the house, and groundskeeping. And I can handle all that, no problem. I don't know. This guy isn't exactly filling me with confidence in his ability to do his job. Anyway, you wanted to ask about what happened, right? I mean, I already told the police everything I know. I'm really sorry for taking up more of your time. Sorry. That's not what I meant. I'm not complaining or anything. It's just that I don't remember what happened very well. Something attacked me out of nowhere and I blacked out. Something attacked him? So, not the thief then? Can you please tell us more about that, Mr. Turner? Sure, no problem. About the crime took place. Right, so, where to start? I was just doing my job like normal today. I'd made food for the Pokemon, did some cleaning around the mansion, that sort of thing. I think I was tidying the garden when it happened. I saw Ducklet fly out of a second-story window. As I recall, I wondered where she was going. I mean, usually Ducklet just walks out the front door. It seemed weird to me, so I went upstairs to see what was going on. That's when I saw that the door to the jewel storage room was wide open. And if that wasn't shocking enough, the moment I went to look inside, I suddenly got punched by a Pokemon. The next thing I knew, I was lying on a sofa and someone was treating my wounds. A Pokemon punched you? Yeah, I feel like I glimpsed a small, red figure for just a moment. Based on the size, it couldn't have been human, so I'm guessing it was a Pokemon. A red Pokemon. Do you know what kind it was? I'm really not sure. It all happened so fast. I see. I'm so sorry that happened to you. But I'm glad you weren't seriously hurt. That's what the doctor said, too. No Pokemon would want to steal the Aurora Drop. It's possible that the culprit ordered their partner Pokemon to swap the jewel and punch out Turner. So, Tim, now you've heard Turner's story, what do you think? We need to find the Ducklet that flew out the window, and that red Pokemon too. Yep, you got it. About the culprit.
Excuse me.
Did you see anything else when the Pokemon attacked you? The thief who brought the Pokemon along was probably nearby. Unfortunately, that's all I saw. I see. Can you think of any other details that might give us a clue about the culprit? Nothing in particular is coming to mind. I mean, Mr. Dennis is such a nice person. I've never heard of anyone holding a grudge against him. And I was really surprised to hear that Barnes is a suspect. You don't think Barnes is responsible? I guess the police must have some reason to suspect him. But honestly, I just can't believe it. Barnes is still showing me the ropes around here. He's a great co-worker with tons of experience. I mean, if you'd known Barnes before all this, you could never even imagine him being a thief. About the Aurora drop.
Excuse me?
Do you know anything about the stolen jewel? The Aurora drop? I never even seen the thing. It's been shut up in that storage room ever since it was brought to the house. Of course, I know it's valuable and all. I assume that's what's been causing all the arguments between Mr. and Mrs. Dennis lately. What sort of arguments? In case you haven't heard, Mr. Dennis says he's gonna donate the Aurora drop. Seems like Mrs. Dennis is against that plan. They've been fighting about it almost nightly. Every night? It must really be a point of contention. I guess Mrs. Dennis just doesn't want to give up such a valuable jewel. So the Aurora drop's been driving a wedge between husband and wife, eh?
Yes? You certainly don't look like you're with the police. State your business.
Claudia Dennis, Sanjeev Dennis's wife. We're detectives, Mrs. Dennis. We're detectives. Mr. Dennis asked us to investigate the incident that occurred here. Detectives? Oh, I suppose my husband did say something about that. Your husband? That must mean you're Claudia Dennis, Sanjeev's wife. I'm sorry to bother you, but do you mind if we ask you some questions? I do mind, actually. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. The case has already been solved. What do you mean? The police said that Barnes is behind all this, so the matter's settled. We've heard that he's under suspicion, yes, but we can't be certain it was Barnes who committed the crime. You sound just like my husband, but nothing you say will change the fact that Barnes is the culprit. Barnes' partner Ducklet was up to no good. I saw it with my own eyes. Did you witness the crime? Barnes' partner Ducklet was involved in the crime. Wait, Ducklet, dang it, I did that. You look as though you don't believe me. About what you witnessed.
Excuse me?
Is it true that you witnessed the crime? Well, I didn't exactly see it clearly. Huh? But I did witness some infutable proof. What exactly did you see? At the time of the incident, I was enjoying a cup of tea in my room on the second floor. Just then, I noticed a bird Pokemon flying outside the window. A bird Pokemon? Yes, I clearly saw a blue bird Pokemon. It had to have been Ducklet. We did find blue feathers near the window and in the storage room. So those were Ducklets? In hindsight, she was obviously stealing the jewel. I also heard a faint sound just before that, like something metallic. A metallic sound. Do you know what could have made that noise? No, I don't. But the storage room was ransacked, wasn't it? I suppose she must have broken something in the act. And I've heard it confirmed that Ducklet's feathers were found in the room. Isn't that proof enough that Barnes is the culprit? She's pretty darn convincing of her own theory. But all it's based on is a metallic sound and the sight of a flying blue bird Pokemon. Pretty flimsy if you ask me. Yeah. I'm sorry, Miss Dennis, but that information alone isn't enough to definitively prove Barnes is the culprit. Then hurry up and find whoever is, and get that jewel back! Isn't that what my husband hired you for? I get that she's upset, but she doesn't have to take it out on us. About Barnes.
Excuse me?
Mr. Dennis seems confident that Barnes is innocent. Ah, yes, I'm sure he is. He's always been too trusting, especially when it comes to Barnes. Those two really trust each other that much? I'm told Barnes has worked here for a very long time. Much longer, in fact, than I've known Sanjeev. I suppose that's why Barnes is always taking my husband's side. What do you mean by that? Whenever my husband and I have a disagreement, Barnes inevitably sides with Sanjeev, even though I'm sure he believes he's being impartial. That lack of self-awareness is yet another one of his many flaws. I get the feeling Claudia is not a huge fan of Barnes. Do you think that's why she's so sure he's the thief? Okay, about Ducklet.
Excuse me?
Could you tell me more about Ducklet? Ducklet is Barnes' partner. She dotes on him tirelessly and is always by his side. You mentioned earlier that she might be involved in the crime somehow. Would Ducklet be capable of such a thing? Yes, she even helps Barnes out with his shopping. She'd certainly be capable of making off with a jewel. Well, whether or not Ducklet stole the jewel, the one thing that seems certain is that she really loves Barnes. About the Aurora drop.
Yes?
The Aurora drop is an incredibly valuable jewel. Mr. Dennis told me the same thing. But do you really understand? Can you even comprehend just how valuable it is? Huh? I knew it. Just look at those blank expressions. Hey, my face always looks like this. As it is, I'm not even sure my husband understands the true value of that jewel. After getting his hands on something so precious, why would he want to donate it to Rhyme City? So you're against donating the Aurora drop? Of course I am. Treasures like that aren't meant to be paraded about for the general public. They should be preserved for quiet observation by a selected few. Huh, hard to imagine her quietly doing anything. Fable, all ears for mansion gossip. Oh, it's Fable, Miss Dennis's partner apparently. Can I ask you a few questions? Whoa! What gives? No need to be so rude! What's wrong? Seems like she's real suspicious of us. Maybe she's feeling sensitive after the incident here.
Whoa!
Where are you going? There's no reason for us to head back into the city right now. You're right, let's keep investigating the mansion. Alright, Bomber. Who in the world? Who else are we missing? Barnes. Wait. It's some tea to serve to visitors. I prefer coffee myself. Let's talk to Barnes. Ask me anything you like. About the symbol of revival. What makes the Aurora drop a symbol of revival? 2 years ago, during the art incident, my jewel shop suffered considerable damage. Wait, you were a victim of the art incident? Yes, some Pokemon who had been exposed to art went berserk. Their rampage destroyed my shop, to say nothing of the damage done to my jewels and other goods. By that time, I already had the Aurora drop. I kept it stored safely in the shop. So, was the Aurora drop damaged too? No. As a matter of fact, it wasn't. Of all the jewels in my shop, the Aurora drop was the only one to remain unscathed. In fact, debris fell so perfectly around the Aurora drop that you might believe it was being protected. That's incredible! I guess there's some magic left in the world after all. Ever since then, the Aurora drop became known as the jewel that survived the R incident. People started visiting my shop just to see it. And thanks to all that attention, my business was able to get back on its feet. Sounds like a valuable jewel in more ways than one. What made you decide to bring it back to your mansion instead of keeping it at your shop? I decided to donate it to Rhyme City. The Aurora Drop? But why donate something so precious to you? It's not just precious to me, and that's exactly why I decided to donate it. Mayor Myers has done his part in improving our city by declaring the start of Pokemon Friendship Week. I thought it was about time I did mine. So I wanted to donate the jewel that survived the R incident as a symbol of Rhyme City's revival. I hope that by doing so I can help liven up not just my shop, but the whole city as well. Wow, Dennis, I'm impressed. That's a wonderful gesture. I'm glad you think so. Not everyone's so pleased about it. Oh? Forget anything. I shouldn't burden you with concern over such personal matters. For now, I'm counting on you to find the Aurora Drop as quickly as possible. Understood. We'll do everything we can. Wait. Now then, Mr. Barnes, we'll thank you not to leave the mansion until further notice. Understood. Hey, it sounds like the police finished questioning Barnes. Let's go talk to him. Yeah. Oh, that's Barnes. Brandon Barnes, butler of the Dennis residence. How did it come to this? Why are the police so suspicious of me? Excuse me, are you Mr. Barnes? Huh? Who might you be? I'm Detective Tim Goodman. Mr. Dennis has hired me to investigate the crime that occurred here. Is that so? My apologies. I am Brandon Barnes. I work here at the Dennis residence as a butler. Do you mind if we ask you some questions, Mr. Barnes? I realize you must be tired since you were just questioned by the police. Please don't worry about that. If you've been hired by Mr. Dennis, then it is my duty to give you my full cooperation. Thank you. What would you like me to speak about first? At the time of the incident.
Yes.
I was away when the incident occurred. It wasn't until after I'd finished my errand and entered the house that I realized something was amiss. I heard Turner cry out from the second floor. When I rushed upstairs, I found him collapsed on the floor in front of the jewel storage room. So that means Barnes was the first witness to arrive at the scene of the crime. Did you see the thief or their partner Pokemon? No, nothing like that. Wait, if Barnes ran up the stairs, you'd think he would have run straight into the thief. If he didn't see anyone, could they have escaped from the second floor? Did you check the storage room? Yes, the door was already open, and when I looked inside, I saw that the Aurora Drop was gone. I then contacted Mr. Dennis and the police right away. Is there anyone who can corroborate your whereabouts at the time? Unfortunately not. It was only afterward that Mrs. Dennis came out of her room to see what the commotion was about. And the only others in the house at the time were Growlithe and Clefable. Naturally, no one can take witness statements from Pokemon, so I'm afraid I have no alibi. That's where we come in. The Pokemon that live in this mansion might know something about the culprit. Mr. Barnes, do you have any idea who the thief might be? Not a clue, I'm afraid. But I do know that Mr. Dennis and I are the only ones who can freely use the key to the jewel storage room. Growlithe guards that key with constant vigilance. So, I imagine it would be very difficult for anyone else to take it from her. I suppose it's no great wonder that the police suspect me, given the circumstances. but I would never do something so senseless. At least this confirms that only those two have access to the key. About Ducklet.
Yes.
Ducklet is my dear partner Pokemon. Just look at this photo. That's Ducklet with you there? That's actually adorable. Yes, isn't she adorable? Just look at her feathers. Simply beautiful. But that's not all. She's also incredibly clever and even helps me out with my work. Oh, excuse me. I'm terribly sorry. I tend to get a bit carried away when I speak about Ducklet. It's really no problem. You mentioned that she helps you with your work. What exactly does she do? Let's see. She runs errands for me, such as buying coffee beans from a local cafe. Ooh, she buys coffee beans. Nice. There's a place nearby called the High Hat Cafe. Perhaps you've heard of it. She regularly goes shopping there by herself. Dang, she's smart. If that's their go-to cafe, then it's gotta be for the High Hat blend. Guess I shouldn't be surprised that Ramses elites have such refined taste. I asked her to go to the cafe today, in fact, but she hasn't yet returned. Could she have wandered off somewhere? Do you have any idea where Ducklet might be? Unfortunately, no. The feathers found at the scene of the crime are Ducklet's, right? Yes, no question about it. But I haven't had the faintest idea why Ducklet's feathers would be there. Just the thought of her getting caught up in the crime somehow. I'm so worried I can hardly think straight. About the Aurora do. Out of all the jewels in Mr. Dennis's collection, he considers the Aurora drop to be his most precious. He worked tirelessly to acquire it in the first place. You might even say the Aurora drop is the physical manifestation, the crystallization, of Mr. Dennis's career as a jeweler. I wish nothing but swift retribution on the thief who stole it from him. For someone who speaks so formally, Barnes is a pretty passionate guy, isn't he? Please, Tim, find the Aurora drop. I beg you. Don't worry, sir. We're on the case.
Well,
Based on Barnes' testimony, I'm really not surprised the police suspect him. Yeah, if only there was another witness at least. About that, are you forgetting something, Tim? Huh? Barnes told us that Growlithe and Clefable were in the mansion at the time of the incident, remember? Oh, right. Maybe the Pokemon saw something. Exactly. You can leave the rest to me. Let's go question him, Tim.
yo, main Ectric, working hard?
See you out tomorrow.
Hey, what did I ever do to you?
Hold on.
Great Detective Coffee Note number 2. The water you use can change how your coffee tastes.
Alright, let's see what he says first. What do you want, great detective? Have you finished questioning Barnes? For now, anyway. We just haven't finished gathering our evidence. Doesn't change the fact that Barnes is still a suspect. If you don't mind, can we ask you some questions? If you insist, I have no intention of sharing some confidential information with you. About Barnes.
Excuse me?
Is the storage room key the reason the police suspect Barnes? Oh, so you know that much already? Well, no point denying it. The only two people who can access the key are the homeowner and his butler, Mr. Dennis and Barnes. I highly doubt Mr. Dennis staged all of this himself, which leaves Barnes as the only logical suspect. Not only that, there were Ducklet feathers at the crime scene, and Barnes' partner is a Ducklet. Clearly, Barnes used the key to get inside the storage room, then had Ducklet fly off with the jewel. That's my working theory. Duly noted. We don't have any decisive evidence yet, but we're going to find this Ducklet that flew the coop, and then we'll get definitive proof. You'll see. Well, I'll be continuing my own investigation. Suit yourself. About the investigation. Are you following any leads other than Barnes? Of course we are. We've already collected statements from every last person in the house. Do you mind if I ask what your impression of each of them was? Well, I suppose I could tell you that much. Mr. Dennis seemed rather shaken by Barnes falling under suspicion, and his wife Claudia is reacting quite impetuously. She's been approaching us repeatedly to demand that we hurry and wrap up our investigation. That's gotta be tough. I almost feel bad for Brad. One of their staff members, Turner, has been very cooperative with our investigations. He's told us a lot about everything that happened up until he lost consciousness. I suppose that's all I can say for now. Thank you. We'll keep all that in mind. The police can question people, but they can't talk to Pokemon. Interviewing the Pokemon around here might help us paint a clearer picture of what went down. Alright. I'm gonna see what matches. No need to glare at us like that, Maynetric. Calm down already. We're not gonna get in the way of your police work. Brad's Maynetric sure is committed to the job. True, and he's been keeping watch, so if anyone tried to hide some evidence, he'd spot it right away. I guess he is helpful in that way, but I just wish he'd dial back his aggression toward me. I want to talk to everybody. This room is currently under police investigation. Only thrusters are permitted. On.
Hold on. Got some dust on my hat. A great detective's gotta look good at all times.
I occasionally want to do this. I actually like talking to Detective Pikachu. Okay, let's talk to Clefable. Wait, where's Growlithe? We haven't got nothing from Growlithe yet, right? Hey, Growlithe! Sorry to bug you when you're already feeling down. But would it be alright if we asked you some questions? We're here to catch the thief, and we need your help to do that. Ooh. You're willing to talk to us if it'll help Sanji? Thanks. Sanji? Growlithe's nickname for Dennis, near as I can tell. Oh, right. His full name is Sanjeev Dennis, so I guess Sanji makes sense. Anyway, Growlithe, can we start with the questions? About you, Growlithe. Gotcha. As Dennis's partner, it's your job to guard the mansion. And we already know the key to the jewel storage room was around your neck. It's important to Dennis, so guarding it's important to you. Makes sense. She said she'd never let anyone other than Dennis or Barnes even touch the key. So that's why you feel extra responsible for what happened, huh? She's really got a strong sense of responsibility. Don't worry, two of us are gonna crack this case. At the time of the incident. Do you remember anything about the time of the incident? You don't know cause you were napping. What? Your breakfast was so tasty that you ate too much and it made you sleepy. Been there, believe me. What are you even talking about? You woke up when Barnes got home. That would have been right before all the commotion happened. And when you woke up, your precious key was gone. Yeah, I can tell you're upset. You'll do whatever it takes to help us catch the thief? Thanks. We'll come ask for an assist if anything comes up. About Barnes. She says Barnes is a kind and well-mannered person. He and Dennis are close, and she's never seen them fighting or arguing. Mr. Dennis really does seem to trust Barnes after all. And Growlithe likes Barnes too. Judging from what Growler says, it's hard to think if Barnes is a likely culprit. There wasn't anything in Growler's testimony that could help us prove Barnes' innocence. Only one left to ask is Clefable. I'll do what I can to get Clefable talking to us. Thanks, Pikachu. It's okay, Growler. We'll help you out. Me and Pikachu are on the case. What? You think we're thieves returning to the scene of the crime? You got it all wrong. We're not here to steal anything. We're actually great detectives looking to catch the thief. Please, can you answer some questions? Yes. Really? Come on, you can trust us. Yeah, help us out and I'm sure Claudia's bad mood will clear up too. So you're willing to talk to us. Thanks. Guess Clefable was worried we'd do something bad to Mr. Dennis. About you, Clefable.
Hey.
Do you have a job here at the mansion? No job per se, unless you count spending time with Claudia. Isn't it tough hanging out with someone so prickly? I hope that ain't bad to say. Claudia's not a bad person, you say? Sorry, didn't mean to be insulting. So Claudia's always arguing with someone or other. But when it's just you and her together, she starts to regret the whole thing? I get it now. Your job is to cheer her up when she gets into arguments. Wow, you're actually pretty nice. I bet Clefable was really important to Miss Dennis at the time of the incident. Did anything strange happen today? Clefable's saying she got real sleepy while playing in the mansion this morning. Okay. Then she dozed off and doesn't know what happened after that. That's too bad. About Barnes. What do you think of Barnes? Do you get along with him alright? Claudia doesn't like Barnes, so Clefable tries not to have much to do with him. But she doesn't think Barnes is a bad person. After all, she says Barnes ran to help Turner when he got hurt. Wait, does that mean Clefable saw Barnes going upstairs to help Turner? Yeah, it's gotta. Clefable, what else can you tell us? Clefable was dozing near the front door this morning. When Barnes got home from doing stuff outside, she woke up and greeted him at the door. Then, Clefable and Barnes heard Turner cry out on the second floor, so they both went running upstairs. And that's when, to their surprise, they found Turner on the floor. That means when Turner was attacked, Barnes was still on the first floor.
Okay, let's start deducing.
Alright.
Okay, great.
We've got everything we need to make our deductions. Let's solve this puzzle, Tim. Sure. Is Barnes the culprit? The police suspect Barnes is the culprit. Let's begin. Alright, we got some useful information. Let's stop for a moment and get our thoughts together. Based on everything we heard, is there anything that suggests Barnes is innocent? Let's review the information we gathered and see what we could come up with. Barnes may be the culprit. He had access to the key. Barnes is the only one aside from Mr. Dennis who had access to the jewel storage room key, so he must be the culprit. Barnes doesn't seem like he would betray Mr. Dennis. Would Barnes really betray Mr. Dennis? They've known each other a long time and Mr. Dennis trusts Barnes. Barnes may not be the culprit. He returned to the mansion after the crime had occurred. When Barnes returned to the mansion, both he and Clefable heard Larry Turner cry out, so it's how unlikely Barnes committed the crime.
Okay.
Oh, we learned that Clefable greeted Barnes when he returned to the mansion. And Growlithe said she woke up at exactly the same time. Barnes and the others only became aware of the crime after that. Doesn't that mean Barnes couldn't be the culprit? Barnes was on the first floor when Turner was attacked. That would have made it very difficult for Barnes to steal the jewel. I'm not sure we can prove Barnes' innocence with that alone. Yeah, we can't exactly disclose the testimony came from Pokemon. It came from Pokemon. No one would believe us. It looks like we're going to need other evidence to prove his innocence. We can't lift the suspicion around Barnes with Clefable's testimony alone. Pool and testimonies alone are not enough to prove Barnes' innocence. Look for stronger evidence. I think we're going to need some other kind of evidence to prove his innocence. But where should we look for it? Nothing immediately comes to mind. At times like this, it's best to try investigating other leads. We might find a thread somewhere unexpected that leads us back to this. To get close to the truth of this case, we got no choice but to find the Pokemon that witnesses saw. Witnesses reported seeing a red Pokemon and Ducklet. I wonder if the one that cut out the jewel case is the culprit's partner. It makes sense to think that, but no such human was seen by witnesses. Having said that though, we might learn something if we can find the red Pokemon. Let's head into the city and get some leads on that red Pokemon. Where's the red Pokemon? The red Pokemon that entered the mansion is clearly involved in this incident somehow. Look for that Pokemon in Rhyme City. I'm sure we'll be able to figure out what Pokemon it actually is. At this point, it seems pretty unlikely that Barnes was the culprit. But then, why did Ducklet leave from the second floor window? Seems unlikely that it's got nothing to do with the jewel theft. Finding Ducklet would be the quickest way to confirm that. Good call. Let's head into the city and look for her.
Okay.
Was it the only way to continue our investigations to gather info in the city? Where should we go? Should we go after Ducklet or search for the red Pokemon? If you're unsure, why don't we try following Ducklet? I think we have a better lead to go on for that than the red Pokemon. Oh, right. We did hear that Ducklet was supposed to go buy coffee beans today. I'll bet you she went to the High Hat Cafe. You're right, we should probably go search the cafe. Let's not waste any time, Tim.
What makes jewels so irresistible to humans? It's a mystery for the ages. Quit playing dumb! We've got evidence that proves you're the culprit! Did I scare you, Tim? I felt like practicing my interrogating.
What's my first nothing else? Guys, I'll look around the mansion off camera and I'll get back in the next video when we continue.